Oh, it's so bright. What's up, YouTube? Gemini Johnny back again. I've been hard at work on this Epstein series, so I don't have anything new for you. But I did throw together this little compilation, so enjoy another 2 hours. Wait, no, I have other stuff to say. So if you haven't watched my Epstein series, most of you haven't, go check it out. It doesn't have a lot of views, and I put a lot of work into it, so I'd appreciate it. Give it a like, comment, share. It's a lot of information, but I think the more people know about it, the better. And yeah, anyway, I will not be commenting on the events of last week, except to say you have lots of thoughts. I think our 3-letter agencies do a wonderful job, and I'm sure they will find the actual culprit. Yeah, so hey, enjoy 2 hours of TikTok conspiracy theories with your boy. Oh, go check out my merch shop. I haven't talked about it, but I put some new stuff in there a couple months ago. I think you'll like it. All right, and without further ado, let's jump right in. I think I do that again. I think I left the first intro in there, but whatever. Get it. Bye. What's up, YouTube? Gemini Johnny back again with another compilation of some of the wildest TikTok conspiracy theories I can find. If you don't remember when I used to do these, I am not a yes man for these conspiracy theories. So many of these are just crazy and easily proven false with like 3 seconds of research. So if you're looking for somebody that's gonna nod along and be like, whoa, that's crazy, I'm probably not your guy. If you want somebody that's gonna bring some groundedness and try to get to the bottom and the truth of what is really going on in all of these things, then, you know, stick around. If you're new here, thanks for tuning in. I used to post videos all the time. Now I'm trying to maintain posting once a week at least. If you're not new here, welcome back. Appreciate you sticking around. It only feels right to bring back the conspiracy theories because it feels like there's so many conspiracies actually going on. Who knows, maybe we'll uncover some truth. I doubt it's on TikTok, but you know, we'll see. All right, now without further ado, let's jump right in. All right, so this first one, I've been seeing a lot of videos. There's a documentary out about this guy, and it's this guy, I'll let him explain it, but he thinks he might have found proof that we're living in the Matrix. And with high amounts, I mean, maybe not high, but he gets these, just watch.
When I first saw the phenomenon, I was like, holy.
But then it was actually like, whoa, what is happening?
Am I losing my mind? But then I showed other people, and things kept getting weirder.
Just for the record, I haven't told him anything. Okay, just tell me what you see.
Oh my God, come on.
Wow, what the fuck? Holy shit. I just saw something. Yeah. What the f?
Oh, I see that. I feel it.
I've been under the influence of mind-altering substances a lot, but I've never seen anything like that. Whoa.
I showed over 100 people, and I kept asking myself, how are all of us seeing the same thing?
Oh my God. It changing shapes right there.
The laser was revealing numbers and letters running in a pattern.
They're almost like this big here.
Did you hear that? These people are on high amounts of hallucinogenics, and they're seeing, within the laser, they're seeing numbers and letters that are sequential and patterns. What? In a laser, bro?
And it looks like code.
It looked like programming code.
It's definitely saying something, and I just want to take a picture of it and translate it.
Wow.
You see that?
Okay, so yeah, it's not stuck.
No.
It's not because of the light.
No, it's on its own side. Light is just literally revealing it.
And each angle shows you different layers, different ways through it.
I could see through the wall. It's not like a hallucination. It has spatial awareness and permanence. I don't know. Whoa.
For centuries,
I've been seeing clips of this all over the place, and I don't know how it's not like front page news. Everybody's talking about it. Like, it's crazy to me that you can take a drug and see code within a laser. Not even within the laser. It sounds like it's, I need to watch the documentary, but it doesn't even sound like it's a code within the laser. It sounds like whatever the laser is pointing at is revealing code in the thing that it's pointing at, from what I'm understanding. But yeah, it's crazy, dude. Like, a guy just figured this out doing drugs in his living room and playing with lasers. Sounds like a good time, not gonna lie. Don't try this at home, kids. But adults, hey, we all make our own decisions. Longtime viewers of this channel know I am a fan of hallucinogens, but not just in the sense of like, oh, they're so trippy, bro. Like, I think they're a tool meant to be used for something. I think they tap into something that we don't fully understand. And I think it's related to the reasoning for our consciousness. And it gets into some woo-woo stuff, but I do believe in the power of hallucinogenics and their ability to heal people. But also I think that they have an ability to transcend our species. Like, I don't know. I could have, maybe I did too many, but like I do truly believe that, I think I've talked about it on here before, but there's the stoned ape theory. Terrence McKenna had a theory that called the stoned ape theory, that we evolved from our pre-Homo sapiens state because the hominids or whatever found magic mushrooms and started eating them, and it developed their prefrontal cortex. And it makes sense, or maybe it just makes sense because I don't really understand how the brain works, but to be fair, but it sounds like it makes sense, you know? All right, let's move on. Oh, who's this guy? It's a fucking dork, dude. Longtime hater of Elon Musk. Yeah, like everybody, I think I was a fan of him when he was just a rocket guy and the guy trying to save the world with electric cars. But man, I think I think it's his mom behind him too. Is that May Musk back there looking like Cruella DeVille? He's in a fucking demon costume. I know that it's the stupid costume from that stupid video game that he's supposedly so good at. Supposedly so good at. But look, I've been a fan of a lot of games that have like evil undertones and like demons and stuff like that. I've never once thought, oh, I should put that costume on. The Baphomet upside down cross armor. I should wear that to an event and let people take pictures and videos of me. That would be cool. This guy's he's the ultimate dork, dude. We're letting the ultimate dork run our country right now. Like, you guys know I don't like to talk politics, even though there's so much money to be made in making content about politics right now. I just have zero interest. It makes me, like, thinking about politics lately, it makes me want to melt my own brain with the inside of a microwave. But yeah, I think I don't know how anyone could support this dude or what's going on right now. Like, with the richest man in the country, it's, by the way, not even born here. Like, you guys, you know, people that are fans of this administration tend to have a real hard-on for people born in this country and tend to not like people not born in this country. Unless they're rich and owning and like seemingly have bought the White House, then they're cool, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, here's the rest of this stupid video. This feels like a stretch. Fucking K holdout. I mean, look, if I had to go stand in the freaking White House and watch a president get sworn in, I probably would have been on a bunch of drugs too, to be fair. But that is like, yeah, the eye thing, I don't know about that. But I think it's pretty obvious that to anybody that has paid attention to anything related to conspiracy theories for the past 3 decades, that this administration seems like they were put in place to usher in the new world order of technocratic overlordship and security measures. This is Patriot Act 2.0. I promise you, our rights are being stripped away as we speak. As I record this, they're being stripped away. They want to implement facial recognition software across the country. They want to get rid of any cash money, which, by the way, is classist. They want to implement their own cryptocurrencies. It's already being, all this is happening. This is all in progress. And my theory is that the people that would usually have fought against all of these things are the people that somehow Trump has encircled under to support him. And I think it was all by design. That's what I believe. Hey, it's a conspiracy theory video, baby. Look, I've said it before. They're all on the same fucking team, dude. There's no right and left in politics. There's the people that run the country and the rest of us. That's how it is. There's the wealthy people and there's normal people. That's how it is. I don't know if you've noticed, but that's how it is. Let them eat cake. Does that sound familiar? Ring a fucking bell. This age of technocracy, I don't even know how to say that word, to be honest. Technocracy, whatever. You know what I'm talking about. The age of implementing as many digital prisons as they possibly can. They want to enslave you. They want to control you with every possible measure. They can't control your cash transactions. They don't know they don't know what happens when you give someone $20. They can't track that. They can track it once your digital ID is attached to your digital bank and you can't make a transaction without it being put on a ledger somewhere or a blockchain. Like, look around, bro. This is all coming. This is happening. Robots are coming to take over the fucking world, and this guy is the leader of it. I truly believe this guy might be the Antichrist. If that's a real thing and like the religion stuff has anything right, this guy has got to be the Antichrist. Fuck Elon Musk. Me and all my homies hate Elon Musk. All right, I've spent way too much time on this fucking dork.
Are they trying to hide the fact that the Earth could be hollow? This is easily one of the most plausible conspiracy theories of all time, because we've discovered systems that stretch for miles and miles and miles and have their own ecosystem. There's a whole world beneath us and they might be keeping it a secret. Why, you might ask? Because they would have to rewrite all of our history. There's possibly species that they have claimed went extinct millions of years ago that are still around under these pockets of Earth. In 1947, Admiral Richard Byrd, a decorated naval officer, claims to have flown through a massive hole in Antarctica, and what he saw was mind-blowing. He described a beautiful, lush land filled with giant creatures and super advanced beings, all living in the hollow Earth, according to top-secret documents. A lot of people believe this is being covered up and the government classified his diary and other documents. Could this be explained why Antarctica is a no-fly zone and you can't go there? I mean, this theory, to me, is not that far-fetched. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. As always, thank you for watching. Until next time, and stay weird.
Like that guy. That guy's a real weird time on TikTok. I've seen his videos before. He's fun. Well, I've heard this theory before about Admiral Byrd supposedly finding some lost civilization underneath Antarctica or something. I've never really dug into it super deep, but I just did kind of a quick little dive. And obviously Wikipedia doesn't say anything about it. But you guys know, when you're in conspiracy theory land, Wikipedia is not the best source to use. But doing a little bit more digging, I don't find anything about him obviously finding a... He did make many trips to Antarctica. This Admiral Byrd was a highly decorated Navy veteran and pilot, and he made like 5 trips, I think, to Antarctica, and I believe participated in both world wars. So like, dude, he was legit. After his last one, he was interviewed quite a bit, his last trip to Antarctica, and he did say that he was concerned about attacks being made over polar lands by other countries, and he was also quoted as once saying, in the future, Antarctica would become the most important place in the world for science. So that's interesting. So hard to really know what he meant by that exactly, because that video that it's referencing is no longer available, but he may have been filmed in that documentary. And that's all just from his Wikipedia page. Obviously, everything else you kind of have to take with a grain of salt because, anybody can put anything on the internet. But yeah, there's no real, evidence of this. I'm not sure where I'm guessing this theory just started because... my guess is it was made up by somebody when they learned about Admiral Byrd and all of his Antarctic expeditions, and they were like, oh, you could just, make up a story about him saying he found all this stuff on there. Obviously, it worked, because we're still talking about it, but yeah, maybe they did. Maybe he might have. I don't know. I haven't been to Antarctica. Again, longtime viewers of this channel know that is a long-term goal of this channel, is to go to Antarctica, make enough money with YouTube to go to Antarctica. Mr. Beast did it. Why can't I? Hey, Mr. Beast, let's go to Antarctica. You pay. I follow a guy on Twitter that works in Antarctica. He went viral like 6 months ago. He was like, what if I just applied for a job in Antarctica? And then like a month later, he was like, I just got a job in Antarctica. And now he works in Antarctica. Actually, I think I saw him post recently that he's like working in a mineral mine or something, but he was working in Antarctica. I found a really interesting thing that I thought it was going to be a really good conspiracy theory, but I found a monolith in Antarctica on Google Maps. And it really was freaking me out for a good afternoon, a good solid 3-4 hours of research. I have a whole Twitter thread about it on my Twitter. If you want to check me out over there, Gemini Jonny YT. I'll make sure that it's in my thread of threads that I have pinned to my profile so you can find it. But yeah, it turns out it was a camera artifacting from do I want to ruin it for you? Yeah, nobody's gonna go look at it. So it was like a panorama picture, and it had picked up a pole from a sign, from a post from a wooden sign, and it was over just sticking up in the snow, and it looked just like a monolith, and it was freaking me out. I got a lot of traction. A lot of people were talking about it on Twitter for that afternoon, but then I figured it out. I don't even remember how I figured it out. I think I used other Google Maps or something, but I asked that guy, and he didn't respond. I was like, have you seen any wooden posts around? Have you seen any monoliths? Yeah. Anyway, next video.
Crazy historical coincidences that cannot be explained. In 1893, a man named Henry Ziegland broke up with his girlfriend at the time, who then died by suicide. Her brother tried to kill Henry by shooting at him, but he missed, and the bullet got stuck in a tree. 20 years later, Henry Ziegland decided to cut down the tree. When it fell, the bullet was dislodged and flew out, which struck him, killing him on the exact spot where he had been shot at 20 years earlier.
Damn.
On August 6, 1945, a Japanese man named Tsutomu Yamaguchi was in Hiroshima for a work trip when the first atomic bomb was dropped. Despite severe burns and injuries, he managed to escape the city and return home to Nagasaki the next day. 3 days later, while on his way to work, the second atomic bomb was dropped, this time in his own city. Miraculously, he survived again, and went on to live up until his death in 2010.
R.I.P.
In 1912, a woman named Violet Jessup was aboard the Titanic when it sank after hitting an iceberg. Luckily, she survived. A few years later, in 1916, she was on the Britannic when it struck a mine and sank again. She survived. Lastly, she was on board the Olympic, which collided with another ship, and yet she survived again. and is known as the only person to have survived 3 separate disasters at sea.
Dang, that's crazy. Not really conspiracy theories, but some of the unluckiest people I've ever heard of in my life. That was crazy, bro. And you ever think you're having it bad, just remember Violet Jessup. Or what was the dude's name that got shot? Ziegland? These stories are true, too. I just looked them up. That's crazy. I wonder how many people something like that has happened to, and we just don't know about it, because just for whatever reason, we never knew, you know? Or it was never documented. Dang. $4,500, right? I kind of hate this guy's videos, not gonna lie. I see these all the time, and it's all like, I mean, good for him. He found a format that works for him, and he's got 6 million followers now. But not really doing a whole lot. Not really explaining anything. You're just kind of like, I don't know. I'm not trying to be a hater, but why didn't I think of that? You're putting in all this work on these damn videos. I could have just shown you guys flashes of the screen. I'd be rich by now. That's funny. All right. This guy's Juan Bergman, by the way. Go give him a follow. His videos are good. Like, they're good production quality. They're like, you know, they're interesting, and they're, yeah, I always watch them. Every time they pop up on my feed, I always watch his videos because they are very interesting and good points. But I'm just jealous I didn't think of his style, his format first. That's all.
Have you guys seen Doomsday Map? They came out with a map that looks like this.
Wow.
This is America. They do like the whole world, but this shot is of America. This lady, her name is Peggy Bolton. She did some really fun research regarding the Doomsday Map. She compared with what this map looked like. She compared that to the land that Bill Gates has been buying. All the farmland. He is the majority farmland owner in the United States right now. She took the map of the farmland that he owns and overlaid it onto this Doomsday Map. Every single dry land piece was occupied by his farmland, including California. So California is basically completely underwater, but there's these little pockets of islands. See those? That little one right there, that's one of his farmlands.
Yep.
Like that compared to like Zuckerberg, because on this Doomsday Map, Hawaii is completely fine. And she talked about how Jeff Bezos is also buying up farmland around the US. That all correlates with like these high points in America.
Yeah.
It's super creepy.
So we need to get a boat.
According to this map, we're good. We're gonna almost have beachfront property, baby. It's perfect. Have you guys seen?
I wonder where they're from. Huh, that's interesting. Well, at first I was going to be like, well, why is he getting all this property out here if we're going to be wiped off the map and stuff? Like, that doesn't even make sense because it also says he has, I'm looking at the map right now. It says he has, wait, that's weird. Hold on, I'm going to pull this up for you guys. All right, so this is that map that they were looking at. Is it 4,500 acres or is it 20? Oh, it's only 4,500 acres. Oh, I thought it was 24,500 acres. Okay, it is. It's 4,500 acres in California. Oh, dang. Okay, that is a little more concerning. It's like when at first I was like, well, this theory doesn't really check out because he's got a quarter of his acreage in California, which is going to be pretty much wiped off the map. Then they brought up the thing about the high points in California, which we do have lots of mountains and stuff. So that is weird. 25,000 acres in Arizona, Washington, 16,000 acres, 9,000 in Idaho. Where else does he got? Got a bunch up in the like northeast, mid to northeast. Nebraska, of course, got 20,000 acres there. My question is, why does he have 1 acre in New Mexico? Bill Gates. 1 acre. Because you know who else has property in New Mexico? Oh, somebody bought it. Oh, God. What kind of slimy motherfucker would buy a place like that? Because you know who else has property in New Mexico? That's odd. Why does Bill Gates own, where is Bill Gates' 1 acre that he owns? Why does Bill Gates own 1 acre in New Mexico? Because 1 acre, I don't know if you guys know this, 1 acre is not that big. I mean, it's not a small piece of property, but it's like a normal, like Midwestern front and backyard and house property, you know? And if he's buying up farmland, you're not going to do much with 1 acre. I just want to know why Bill Gates owns property in New Mexico. Is that so hard to find out? Bill Gates discusses, oh, he used to live in Albuquerque. Okay, well, that could explain it. Oh, Microsoft was started in Albuquerque. I didn't realize that. Well, there you go. That's why he owns property in New Mexico. Or it's a very likely cover story. All right. Yeah, I don't know. I just thought that was interesting. Why does Bill Gates own so much property?
Why did Nikola Tesla care so much about the numbers 3, 6, and 9? He once said that understanding these numbers could unlock the secrets of the universe. To understand this, we need to realize that humans didn't invent math. It's something we found. Math is like the rules and language of the universe. Here's what Tesla figured out. When you double 1, you get 2. Double 2, and you get 4. Double 4, and you get 8. Double 8, and you get 16. If you add the digits of 16, 1 plus 6, you get 7. Double 7, and you get 14. Add the digits of 14, 1 plus 4, and you get 5. When you double 5, you get 10. Adding the digits of 10, 1 plus 0, gives 1. This pattern keeps repeating without ever showing the numbers 3, 6, or 9. However, when you double 3, you get 6. Doubling 6 gives 12, and adding the digits of 12, 1 plus 2, brings you back to 3. These two numbers, 3 and 6, work together in a repeating cycle. The number 9 stands out as the highest, most independent number. Tesla believed that 3, 6, and 9 belong to a higher dimension that influences the three-dimensional world we live in. If 3 and 6 represent yin and yang, the two opposing forces, then 9 is a higher power that oversees and controls the entire universe. Why did Nikola...
Dang, good loop. Perfect loop. Love that. Yeah, that's crazy, dude. What? I mean, we've talked about, you know, sacred geometry and stuff. Talked about math, how, like, it just works. It blows my mind when I think about it too much. Like, we did, you know, like language we came up with. All the words that I'm speaking, they're just sounds that we have decided mean certain things. And when I put them in a certain order, they mean something different when they're in a different order, right? Like, these are all just agreed upon grunts and phrase and, like, vocal expressions that we've decided have meaning. But we decided that. Like, we didn't discover a language and then be like, oh, it just works for everybody. No, that's why we have 1,000 languages on this planet. We have one math. Math is the same in every language. The numbers are the same. They just work. It's not something that anybody created. It's stuff we keep learning more about and figuring more out about. But like, dude, like I'm not a freaking mathematician or anything, but I can appreciate the fact that math is a system that we, you know, are, I don't even know what I'm trying to say, blessed enough to have an understanding of. Like, the world without math, that would be a good series, like a TV show or something. You know how sometimes they'll do alternate, like, revisionist history? Like, they did that show where, like, if the Nazis won World War II, which, like, spoiler alert, I think they might have. If you haven't seen 9/11 or JFK to 9/11, Rich Man's Game or something like that, what is it? Man, that one. Everything is a rich man's trick. That's what it's called. I highly, highly, highly encourage you to go watch it. And it's very interesting. It talks about a lot of the stuff. If you're interested in these videos, you'll like the stuff that's in those videos, because it talks about the truth behind the JFK assassination. It talks about, and who was truly behind that. It talks about, like, things from then all the way up through 9/11 and who was behind it all. And I won't spoil anything for you. You should just go watch it. I think it's on YouTube. It's a very long, I think it was like 3 hours. It's a long documentary, but definitely worth the watch. 3.5 hours. 3 hours and 24 minutes. That's crazy. It is a long documentary. All right, next video. We've seen these guys before, and I've never really looked into them, but I think I'm gonna do it today. Bogdanov twins. They're these dudes with, like, way too much plastic surgery. French twin brothers. Well, just looking them up real quick. It says they were involved in a number of controversies, and most notable being the Bogdanov affair. If you've got a whole affair named after you, you probably got up to some pretty slimy shit. Now, you guys will remember these guys' faces when I pull it up here in a second, but I'm gonna show you what they looked like when they were young. They were handsome dudes, you know. I feel like they were some of these people that just couldn't handle getting old and, like, aging, which is wild to me. Actually, let me play the video first, and then I'll show you what they look like when they were young. How about that?
Have you all heard about the Bogdanov twins?
All right, so the show is about to start, guys. Are we going to talk about your involvement in the U.S. American election? Are you serious? It's true, I thought it was okay. My friend, you're playing with fire right now. That's not something you just throw out there into the public. Your manager told me it would be okay. We do not have a manager. And who was I talking to? Probably some Rothschild trying to expose us. They try that all the time. I already told the audience we were going to talk about that. Where's bro going? Creepy looking motherfuckers, man. These guys are dead, by the way. They both died beginning of 2022. I don't know why we had to do that. That was weird. Oh, it's still going. Emergency. The host just collapsed and is lifeless? Do you need help? No. Just sit down. We will take care of this. Unfortunate coincidence. Okay, it seems our host for today is having some health problems now. What a guy. Give him some applause. Fuck these guys, man. Looks like we are going to host this show then. Such collapses can happen at any time. I'm sure he will recover. Oh yeah, you know, people just collapse sometimes. The entire show's team did just collapse. Okay. Well, let us not panic. This is a pure coincidence, okay? Let us sing a song to get the good mood back. Here's instructions for the lyrics. Massacre the Rothschilds? Reading, hey, YouTube algorithm, I'm reading what they're saying. That's not me saying to do that, by the way. The entire TV show's team has later died in a hospital due to heart attacks? What the fuck? Since then, no one has ever asked the Bogdanov twins about their role in the US elections ever again. Do you still believe that these men are human? Okay, you lost me with that last one. I mean, yeah, maybe they're lizard people, who knows, but they're also evil freaking dudes, you know? All right, here, I want to show you guys what they look like when they were younger. So you guys remember their freaky faces? Yeah, okay. So like normal looking dudes obviously started getting too much plastic surgery way too young, and that's what happens when you do that. It's like, you can tell, like, obviously this guy didn't have much of a chin, so we got a huge chin implant. Other guy over there didn't have much of cheekbones, so we got some huge cheekbones put in. And then when you start doing that, when you're, you know, I don't know, what are they, in their late 20s probably? This was in the 90s. Oh, well, they were 72, what was the 90s, 30 years ago? So they would have been in their 40s in this picture? It's actually kind of crazy. They look really good to be in their 40s. But yeah, definitely too much plastic surgery. Yeah, like I said, they died in 2022. But very weird stuff about the... I wish somebody else would have asked them about the election. They're well known in like the crypto world. Like people make memes of them all the time. I think they had heavy influence. They were known to be market makers, which, like, if you know what that means, they could move enough money around to make a coin drop or raise. So what I find interesting, I told you guys they died. They died actually within like a week of each other. Both of, you know, the thing that we all dealt with that I can't really talk about on YouTube without getting my videos flagged. They literally, one died on the 28th of December, one died on the 3rd of January. So it was like they were hospitalized at the same time. But what's weird is trying to search for this video that we just watched or any information about it. Only thing that comes up is how they died within days of each other. I don't know if I explained earlier. Apparently the Bogdanov affair, the thing that was named after them, that I mentioned before we watched the video, their whole thing was they were like theoretical physicists, I guess, and like TV presenters or something, which is a crazy crossover to be. But the whole Bogdanov affair was an academic dispute over the legitimacy of the doctoral degrees obtained by the French twins. So like they were like head of cosmology at some school in, what was it, Belarus or something? But it's very interesting that it's hard to find anything about this TV crew. It's all just about them and how they died close to each other. And I might have to put a call out to the internet about this one because I'm having a hard time finding anything about this. Like, it's very weird. It's always, there's only been like a couple instances in my entire life that I haven't been able to find something that I was looking for online, or at least find the answers of like it was wrong or it was fake or something, or find something about it. The only thing I can find online about this TV host who supposedly had a heart attack and died is TikToks. And like normally if that was the case, I would be like, well, it's probably just some made up shit on TikTok. But in this case, we have the actual video footage of somebody running in and saying, "Hey, the entire crew just collapsed." Allegedly, I don't speak French. Maybe that's not what they actually said. The subtitles could have been faked, I guess. But very, very interesting. Like, isn't that just strange that you can't find fucking anything about this entire crew, TV crew that supposedly had heart attacks all at the same time? And this motherfucker was just like, "Yeah, it happens." Bro, what did he say about it? But let us not panic. This is pure coincidence, okay? Pure coincidence that the entire crew just collapsed. Pure coincidence that right as he was asking me and about to ask me publicly about the interference that I allegedly had in the elections, he would go off to the side of the set, collapse, have a heart attack, and die. And then the rest of the crew would also collapse and have heart attacks and die at the same time. I don't know, just that's strange, right? I know I spent a lot of time on this, but that's a weird one. I was actually talking about this recently with somebody, like the commodification of culture and color and how they are classic signs of incoming fascism. You know, let's see.
The reason why the world is loose in color.
Loosing.
Remember when cars came in more shades than just bland? Back in the day, cars were like Skittles on wheels, bright reds, sunny yellows, and electric blues. Now, we're living in a sea of Tesla grays and beige sedans. But why? Is it just a trend, or is there something deeper happening here? Imagine this, a world where vibrant colors slowly vanish, replaced by dull shades. It's not just about design choices, it's about vibes. Bright colors spark joy, creativity, even rebellion. Dull colors, they make us blend in, feel uninspired, easier to control. Think about it. What if this shift is a subtle way to lower our collective spirit? To make us more obedient, more beige?
Yeah, it's true.
I talk a lot about color psychology and the whole idea of why it works, but the bottom line is that colors really can change the mood of a room. And it's the single most important element that a designer has to work with when they're creating mood in a room, is the colors, the amount of color contrast. So it starts with the colors you choose, whether they're light, whether they're grayed down, whether they're very dark, whether they're intense, but then also how they contrast with the other colors in the room. That's what creates the energy, or sometimes the lack of energy when you want something very calming and relaxing. But colors absolutely can change the way you feel and the way a room feels.
It's very true. Color psychology is actually super interesting. How color impacts moods, feelings, and behaviors. Yeah. I read a lot about this whenever I was starting my YouTube channel, because in my head I had it that I had to have like the perfect packaging, and like I needed everything to be the exact right shades and everything. And now I'm just like, I just need to put out a video. It doesn't really matter. Just put out a video. If it's interesting, people will watch. Yeah, it's interesting. Like I notice it the most in architecture, and how like architecture seems like it has steadily gotten worse. And like the construction of the architecture legitimately has gotten worse. Like the wood, the quality of wood that we use, at least in America. I don't know how it is in the rest of the world. I would imagine it's the same. But the quality of wood that we build with now is not even close to the quality of wood that we used to build with, because we've ran through all those trees. There's a really interesting side by side. I don't remember if it was TikTok or just a picture I saw on Twitter or something, but it showed the rings of trees, and it showed one from like 50 years ago, what it looked like and what they look like today. And the gaps in the rings of the trees, they used to be really tiny, and now they're like 5 times as big. And it's because we're growing these trees so much faster. They don't have the time to be compact and be a really solid, heavy, dense wood, and it grows so much faster, and we're cutting it down so much faster. So that leaves you with poor quality wood. So, you know, it is interesting. I don't know, like, especially when you look at, like, you start talking about the Tartaria stuff and like those conspiracy theories, and how like you look at old school architecture and how beautiful and amazing and intricate and all the crazy designs and the like artistry that would go into it. And now it seems like they just put up a building for as cheap as possible, and who cares what it looks like. The building that is next to my apartment building looks like it's a really nice, but it's a brand new building. They just built it like 2 years ago, and it's all, you know, it's very modern and sleek looking, but it also just kind of looks like a trash can. It looks like a square metal box. Like, I don't know. And it's like that all over LA, but you know, it's expensive to build, and people are trying to do it as cheap as possible, because they're just trying to get people in the door so that they can start making rent money. That's all they really care about. So, you know, bring back good architecture. That's what I say. I always like these. These always seem to be good.
What's a coincidence that you think about a lot? I'll go first.
Oh, I
think a lot about the time that kid drove 200 miles to Buffalo to pew a bunch of people in a grocery store because he was such a racist. He had to drive all the way to Buffalo to do it. And one of those people turned out to be Aaron Salter Jr., an inventor who created the world's first water-powered car and was featured on the local news in Buffalo 2 months before the shooting. A man who created this world-changing revolutionary item, unalived by some random kid who drove 200 miles to do his crimes. I think about that a lot.
It is interesting. I didn't know that. I didn't know the guy had, but I just looked him up. It's true. There's a cop that was responding to the Buffalo shooting that was killed by the shooter. And yeah, he had apparently invented a water-powered car. That's crazy. Well, you guys know how I feel about three-letter agencies and what they are and their involvement with school shootings and mass shootings, and I think they might be involved, you know, allegedly for entertainment purposes only. But we do have evidence. You know, the first thing that comes to mind is the Michigan governor kidnapping, and how, yeah, those dudes were white supremacists and probably pieces of shit, but they were egged on to do that. Like, okay, so here's how that whole thing played out, because this is a really interesting story to me. You guys remember Whitmer, I think was her name, the lady governor from Michigan, governor kidnapping. I think it was Whitmer. Yeah, Gretchen Whitmer kidnapping plot. This is back in 2020, 5 years ago. You might have missed it. It was in all the times, obviously. Oops, I said it. I'll have to bleep that. But it was during, you know, the lockdown times, the crazy times. And there was this news came out that this white supremacist group had been stopped by the FBI. Their plan to kidnap the Michigan governor had been stopped by the FBI, and the FBI was being lauded as heroes and everything. And then time goes on, and come to find out that the reason the FBI was able to stop this is because they had infiltrated this white supremacist group. And they had infiltrated this white supremacist group quite a while ago. And, you know, I don't know if you're aware of this, but to infiltrate a group, you have to act like you're a part of the group. So the FBI agent had to do stuff that was involved with white supremacist groups. And I don't know exactly what that is, to be honest, but, you know, he had to get trusted enough to be able to kind of like put out some plans out there that people would listen to, because the FBI agent was the one who originally floated the idea to kidnap the governor. Like, dude, it's so fucked. Like, and this is one we know about. We know they did this, okay? Like, they egged them on. They were like calling them, they were like, you're a pussy, you won't even do it. Like, a real man would do something about it. Like, that kind of shit. That's what the FBI agent was saying in a group chat to this white supremacist group. And then they went and tried to do it. And then the FBI stopped them and they weren't able to do it. So, like, I guess you could argue, be like, oh, he was only doing that to see if they actually would, because, like, then they could stop them since they were in there. It's like, okay, but what if they wouldn't have ever done that? Like, look, I'm definitely 100% not arguing for the white supremacist group. Like, not at all. Fuck those guys. Those guys are pieces of shit. Anybody who thinks they're better than anybody else based on the color of their skin, if you think that and you're one of my followers, please unsubscribe from me. I don't want anything to do with you. I don't want you supporting my content. Like, hey, we're all equal humans on this plane, and nobody's better than anybody. Some people have easier lives, some people have harder lives, but no status in this planet makes you better than anybody else. We all go back into the ground when we're done, or, you know, burned or whatever we do, but, you know, we all die at the end of this. Like, nobody gets out of this alive. So I never understood the, like, thinking you're better than other people for anything. Like I think I'm smarter than some people because I've got this whole tangent about nobody's better than anybody. I'm smarter than people, but no, like, there are levels of people. Of course, I understand that. I'm not, like, dumb that there's, like, you know, different levels of success and stuff, but no level of success or achievement in life makes you better than others. And if you think it does, then, like, I don't really know what to tell you. Sure, it makes you more successful in this life, but, like, again, it's like kind of going back to the language thing. Like, success is just this concept that we have made up. Like, what is success? Making a lot of money, owning a lot of things, like things that we have made up. Like, like having a lot of money, a concept we made up. Things like owning things, that's not a thing that we used to do. We used to just go and roam the land and live off of it, you know? And now everybody wants to buy things, and I gotta have the nice thing, gotta have the new thing. Bro, I'm still filming content on my iPhone 13, all right? So, like, you don't have to have the new thing. You don't need a brand new camera. You don't need or whatever. I don't know. Cameras are always what's on my mind, but, you know, I don't know. I don't even know what I'm rambling about at this point, but yeah, fuck the three-letter agencies. All my homies hate the three-letter agencies. I thought this painting was creepy. Oh, that one's weird. I mean, it is definitely weird. You can fully make out a body. I don't know, that's crazy. Royals are weird, we all know that.
You guys didn't believe me that they were guarding these shipping containers that are hauling military equipment. If you try to even go near there, cops will start coming. And they will try to steal your footage. This is no joke. I'm putting my life on the line to bring you guys this footage.
I'm sure you are. That was dumb.
Miley Cyrus isn't happy with her dad because he groomed her old castmate when she was only 14 years old. We know Miley Cyrus and Billy Ray Cyrus are father and daughter, but Billy Ray, who's 61 years old, is engaged to Fire Rose, who's 23 years old. She's only 1 year older than Noah Cyrus, who's 22 years old. They seemed like a pretty happy family. And Tish, who's Miley's mom, and Billy Ray, they just got divorced in April 2022, so kind of recent. By the way, Miley looks just like her mom, stunning. But with this, Miley cut off like all communication with her dad. And Fire Rose and Billy Ray Cyrus had an interview, kind of, just watch, it's weird.
Tell me about how you guys met and this song came together.
We actually met 10 years ago on the set of Hannah Montana.
I've heard of it.
Yeah. 10 years ago on the set of Hannah Montana.
I've heard of it.
Yeah. And
Billy in that interview is looking like, don't say it, don't say it, don't ask any more questions. What do you guys think of this? It's weird, right? He just got divorced and then now he's re-engaged with someone who's like super young. It's just it's weird because it's Hannah Montana. Miley Cyrus.
Ew. There's an old rule, half your age plus 7 or something like that. And even that's still pretty, I think that's what it was. What was, yeah, half your age plus 7. So what would that be for him? He's 61, so 37. He doesn't need to be dating anybody that's under 37. Ugh. Yeah, stick to the half your age plus 7, at least. That's still playing it pretty loose. But, you know, live your life. I don't know. As long as all parties are consenting adults, I generally don't really care. But it is kind of creepy when it's like a super old dude with a really young girl. Looking at you, Leo.
These prisoners are allowed to have pets if they're on good behavior. And the only fights they seem to get in is who has the cuter cat. Just watch.
In this prison, a good prisoner can get a cat. They walk around every day to discuss whose cat is more lovely. The uncle is very satisfied with his kitten. Hold it all day. These kittens were originally street cats. If no one adopts, they will be euthanized. So the warden put forward the cat rescue plan. Prisoners can adopt a cat as long as they obey the rules. The bald uncle said he was not interested in cats, but I can't help but start teasing the cat. This uncle became the first person to adopt a cat, and the other inmates, so everyone was positive. Soon more and more people received their kittens. Their eyes are full of happiness. Prisoners work actively to exchange snacks and toys for kittens, just to take care of your kitten better. They often walk around arguing about whose cat is more lovely. The result is always red in the face. Soon the prisoner will serve his sentence. Uncle asked his kitten what to do. Can you take the kitten home together? At this time, the cat has become his best partner. Once vicious criminals also have a gentle side. Finally, the warden agreed to his request. Uncle is happy to take the cat home. Go out to
Look at the cat in the hat. And this prisoner seems pretty happy, but the cat does not. But I think this rule is a very good idea.
I love it. Yeah, give more prisoners cats. Look at this guy. You saw this guy in an alley, you'd be terrified for your life, but here holding a kitty, he seems so sweet. Give more prisoners kittens. You know, they're good and stuff. They hurt a kitty, they lose privileges for their life. But, you know, that guy's not gonna hurt that kitty. Look at him. That's a sweet boy with his kitty. In the Bible, Adam and Eve ate the apple. Oh, and just take that song out. In the Bible, Adam and Eve ate the apple, the forbidden fruit, before the fall of mankind. And now everyone's carrying around a device with them with a bitten apple on the back. I'm an older conspiracy theory, but still funny. It is wild that we do that.
Have you seen this thing in the skies in Brazil, y'all? Look at this. This thing is very odd. Looks
doesn't look real.
Extremely ancient. Look at that. It looks like some type of technology. And it's morphing. Do you see that? It looks like a Pokemon, honestly.
It looks like a scene from the movie.
Wow.
What was the Jordan Peele movie?
Another dimension.
Aliens?
Right there,
Them or something?
This was in Brazil. Man, I be telling y'all.
That would have worked so much better if I knew what movie I was talking about.
It's getting so interesting out there, y'all.
He want to say Don't Look Up, but that's that Netflix movie.
What is it doing? Does anybody have any idea what this is?
Nope. That's what it was. Nope.
It looks like it has some depth to it. I don't think it's Project. Have you seen this thing in the?
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know what.
Guys in
if it's real, but I don't know. It kind of looked like CGI to me. I can't really tell. It's a fuzzy video. It might not be, but it's hard to tell. What do you guys think? Is this a alien being come to take us over? Is it a drone? Is it a sky jellyfish? Is it another Chinese balloon?
Aquí en la casa pongo la mesa, quito la mesa,
that's
doblo la
wild.
ropa, la reparto.
He also looks like he's about 8 feet tall.
La reparto. Ayudo mucho a mamá. Cuido a mi abuelita.
Javier.
No way.
It's a little deeper than most cats. You say hi? You say hi?
I don't think you got any Michael Jackson best.
God damn, you got a deep ass voice.
Yeah,
What the fuck? Not.
What a big head.
Cheese?
It's so much funnier coming out of freaking this guy. Why is it so much funnier coming out of his face? He's adorable.
There's a strange humming sound that has been heard in all of the highlighted places on this map. The humming sound is said to be low frequency and very invasive to those who hear it. Some of the more popular locations that this humming sound has been heard has been in Scotland, England, and Australia. And in the United States, it's been heard in Taos, New Mexico.
It's annoying as hell. It's usually heard only in quiet environments. Oh, it's going so fast.
Researchers and scientists have said maybe the sound is just coming from mating fish in the area. Maybe it's coming from a submarine. There's a possibility that the sound is coming from wind farms. Many people are skeptical and believe the sound is coming from radio waves or the earth putting off a strange frequency. A lot of people can't hear the sound, but there is a specific group of people called hum hearers, and they're usually men in their 40s who hear the sound and they say it drives them crazy. It's invasive and causes severe migraines. What do you think the sound is being caused by?
I hope I never start hearing it. Oh, that would suck. God, I would be so annoyed. I get really mad when my ear starts ringing just because it's so annoying. Not even that it's like painful or anything. It's just annoying. Go away. Why do you do that?
Guys, look at the fucking coyote.
You can't really see him.
Oh, fuck.
He was running fast through the lot. Remembers that I said skinwalker about 15 minutes ago?
What are you doing?
Oh no.
We work night security 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. and we see something coming at us at midnight.
Who is it? Raylan!
Hey bro, that shadow moving. This was either a shadow moving or somebody in a ghillie suit that was out there in the middle of the night. One of those like grass suit head to toe things that they wear for military stuff or hunting or whatever. Crazy. Why that dog doing that? Crazy.
I really do not like Hollywood. It is not for me. The business really scares me. I understand that I'm a part of that business and I enjoy my kind of interactions with it. But that said, I am always looking for ways to kind of remove myself from it, to kind of just live as normal a life as possible. Today, doing this is a very rare thing for me to do. Yeah, I definitely think it has been an ongoing thought, which is don't lose yourself. I've seen so many people come before me and lose themselves, and I've had friends that I've grown up with that aren't friends of mine anymore because they've lost themselves to this business, and I just am really, really keen to focus on what makes me happy, which is my family, it's my friends, it's my carpentry, my golf, the charity that my mum runs. Like, that is the stuff that makes me really happy, and that's the stuff that I should protect. My relationship is the thing that I keep most sacred. I don't talk about it. I try my best to keep it as private as possible. We both feel very strongly that that is the healthiest way for us to move on as a couple. So I do try to keep as removed from it as possible. Like, you'll never see me at an award show that I don't have to be at. I'm never going to a red carpet event that I'm not in the film of, you know? I don't want the attention when I don't need it.
I feel that. It's a weird, skeevy business, dude. Like, lots of slimy people. But that being said, there's also lots of really good people and lots of really hardworking people that want to make cool art. So, you know, Hollywood is a lot more than the A-list celebrities you hear about doing interviews and in the news and stuff. There's also a lot of, you know, mid-level employees and people that make $15 or, you know, $17 an hour, whatever minimum wage is. They just want to be a part of something that is a piece of cinematic history. So, you know, keep that in mind whenever you're railing against Hollywood, all right?
This whole entire thing with Kate Middleton is very, very, very strange. Remember all of the Where's Kate stuff, and then how all of the weird photos surfaced of her, and it didn't look anything really like her, and then how the one photo surfaced of her, and come to find out that was a manipulated photo and they had to take that photo down. Now she has come out on 3/22 of all days, if you know, you know, Skull and Bones Day, to announce that she has cancer. Again, what do you all think about this right here? Maybe I'm being too much of a conspiracy theorist. Maybe I'm being too paranoid, or maybe there's something weird going on here. Does this look like a deep fake to you? What do you all think about this? This looks very, very, very weird and very strange. A lot of weird things have been going on surrounding Kate Middleton, and this really looks nothing like her. But again, maybe it really is her. Who
Looks like her to
knows
me.
anymore
I don't
what's
know.
going on? A lot of strange things are definitely happening. What do you all think about this? Comment down below and you tell me.
I mean, it's possible. And look, it's not like they can do a car crash again. It could be an AI video of her. Who knows? That picture was certainly doctored, and I think they came out and admitted it. They had to. And I think anybody who has ever played around with photo editing could look at that picture and tell you something was weird about it. Yeah, who knows? Let's look up famous Skull and Bones people. I know George Bush, right? I think George Bush was the Skull and Bones. The 13 most powerful members of the Skull and Bones. Yep, George W. Bush. William Howard Taft. I did a book report on him when I was in 3rd grade, and I don't remember that coming up. The book that I read conveniently left out that he was a Skull and Bones member. Walter Camp, known as the father of American football. Lyman Spitzer, noted astrophysicist who came up with the idea behind the Hubble Space Telescope. Kind of cool. Oh yeah, H.W. Bush, you know, Bush Sr., Frederick Wallace Smith, George W. Bush, Stephen A. Schwartzman, Austin Goolsbee. He looks like a fucking ghoul. Youngest member of Obama's cabinet. All right, well, probably not that many that famous. They're all just running companies and hedge funds and stuff. Still, the Bushes, you know, they're famous Skull and Bones members. It is interesting. Probably a coincidence that it's Skull and Bones Day that they did that announcement, but then, you know, it's the royal family, so probably not.
They have something in space on a satellite called the Rods from God. This is a satellite that I know of that exists. This satellite has 20-foot tungsten steel rods on it. These tungsten steel rods have no warhead, but when it's positioned over any country or any city, it can be released to within a millimeter of the point of impact, and it'll decimate that entire region using kinetic energy. Now, how do you think they get these countries to fall in line with what they want them to do? Imagine you're a country and you want to do this, you want to do that, you want to be able to do whatever you want, and you know that this thing is hovering above you, and we say, listen, if you do it, we're going to drop one. Okay, we're not going to do it. We'll stand down. We'll stay 3rd world. We won't rise up to 2nd or 1st world. We'll stay back. We'll stand down. They give them a little bit of money, give the leader a little bit of money, maybe install a puppet dictator. You know that thing's over your head. And the Avatar project, they have actual field robots, and where a soldier is in a bunker somewhere, maybe even 1,000 miles away, has a symbiotic consciousness link to the robot to control it. The robot has AI plus its own link, so it can make decisions and you can control it still. They have the craziest tech.
I mean, look, that dude always seems to kind of know what he's talking about. And this one, you gotta be careful with these, because a lot of times these are AI, and when they cut back and forth with his face, a lot of times his words aren't matching up with what he's mouthing. But that one, I think it was, so I think that was an actual interview he did. But yeah, I like his stuff. I don't know, I do wonder if he's maybe kind of like a plant or a shill, because he rose to prominence really fast, and I don't know, seems weird. But I like some of the stuff he says. But that being said, it wouldn't surprise me if he was a disinformation plant. Allegedly, for entertainment purposes only. Just saying. when you suddenly realize McDonald's has contracts with over 10,000 hospitals. Oh yeah, we also got to cut that song. Exit 420, nice. Yeah, I mean, is this true? Let's see. I'm not loving the ventilator. A group of thousands of doctors sponsored a controversial new billboard that calls on Tampa General to get rid of the McDonald's restaurant in the hospital. That's wild. It would be in Florida. No offense to my Floridians out there, but why would you? Man, I guess it's probably cheaper than paying somebody to make it. Not anymore. Dollar menu gone.
There's a good chance that parallel universes do actually exist, and I want to explain to you how you can create one. There's this popular thought experiment in quantum physics known as Schrodinger's cat. It goes like this. You seal a cat inside of a box with a vat of poison, and at some random time, the vat of poison will release and take out the cat. Since you can't see inside of the box, and you don't know if the poison has been released, the cat is technically both alive and dead in a state known as quantum superposition. And the true fate of the cat isn't determined until you open the box and look for yourself. Well, one day, Hugh Everett came around and proposed the many worlds interpretation of quantum mechanics, and said that if the cat can be both alive and dead while in the state of quantum superposition, then there has to be a universe where both outcomes exist. The minute that you open the box, your reality splits one way, but there's equally another reality with the opposite outcome. In the many worlds interpretation, there are an infinite amount of universes, and new ones are created every single time that a decision is made, which means that if you're here right now, you made the decision to watch this video, but there's equally another universe where you made the decision to swipe away.
I fully believe in multiple universes and multiple realities, but I think Schrodinger's cat is stupid. And maybe I'm just too stupid to get it, but to me, if you put a live cat in a box, it's alive, right? It either is or isn't dead. It's not both. It can't be both. So just because you haven't looked in the box doesn't mean that it hasn't happened, the poison release or whatever. Like whether that's the determination of whether that poison is released, not you opening the box to see if the poison is released. I've never liked Schrodinger's cat, and I know I've argued people till I'm blue in the face. I get it. It's a thing in quantum physics and all that, and I get it. And people way smarter than me are the ones that came up with it. I know. But in my brain, it's like the cat either is or isn't alive, and you opening the box doesn't change that fact. It just changes your knowledge of the fact. I don't know. Anyway, we're not gonna solve Schrodinger's cat here, or maybe I just did. I don't know.
Be careful on TikTok. Now, hear me out. This is a thought I've been getting as of recently. As you guys know, my name is 21-year-old woke Russian, and I'm trying to be a content creator. I'm trying to create good content.
Sorry. As we know, first of all, he said his name is what?
As you guys know, my name is 21-year-old woke Russian.
My name is 21-year-old woke Russian? Probably why he goes by Alan now. That is not very catchy. 21-year-old woke Russian. Why did you think that was a good name? As you guys know, I'm 21-year-old woke. My name is 21-year-old woke Russian. Who's supposed to know that? Anyway, I want to hear what he has to say.
And I'm trying to be a content creator. I'm trying to create good content for you guys. So I spend time on TikTok trying to find trending sounds, trying to study, algorithm or other content creators' pages and stuff. But obviously, we're all victim to it. We all end up endlessly scrolling on TikTok, and all of a sudden time just flies by. That's why I think it's called TikTok. TikTok, because you end up looking at the time and it's been like 2 hours and you've been on TikTok and you're like, what the fuck? So hear me out. I just say be careful is because as of lately, I feel like the trend of obviously TikTok is exponentious, if that's even a word. It's going
not.
up, and this is the hottest thing right now. It's been the hottest thing, and we understand that 15-second to 30-second videos is what it is. You all like watching 15 to 30-second videos. You might not even end up watching this whole video because you're going to just synchronistically scroll out of it. So our brains are getting rewired to watch 15 to 30-second content every single day. And all of a sudden, what I'm starting to realize, and I don't know if this is just common sense, and social media is obviously linked to our, mental and our brain status, but it feels like I just can't get my thoughts under control. I feel like I get a thought and I instantly switch to another thought. And I don't have any form of ADHD, ADD, none of that. I am, normal diagnosed person with no mental health problems. And I just feel like as of lately, I just can't sit on one thought. It just goes like this, like this, like this, like this, and it's getting hard to sleep, and it just really sucks. And I'm just really wondering if TikTok is the enemy for doing this to me. So I'm gonna limit my time on TikTok. I'm just gonna make content, get out of this app, come back and then, respond to people's comments and then make some more content. But let me know in the comments if you've experienced this, or maybe I'm just tripping and I'm just out here wearing a tinfoil hat type shit. But this is what I've been experiencing. Let me know in the comments if you feel the same, or what are your thoughts on TikTok. And also, just be careful on this app, because you can endlessly scroll for hours and hours and hours and not realize it. So
I'm still not sure about the 21 woke Russian thing, or why he called himself that, but I'm assuming he's Russian and woke and 21. 21. But no, he makes a good point. Yeah, I mean, it's no secret that social media is doing something to our brains and shortening our attention spans, and that's why things like Vine worked. I mean, when Vine first came out, I remember everybody being like, 6 seconds. What does anybody want to watch a 6-second video for? And then it just blew up and made people famous. But yeah, the social media, the constant swiping, it's in the dating apps, it's on your social medias. It's like everything has a swipe element to it now. And the whole goal of every social media platform, just let you little inside baseball, their main goal is to keep you on the platform. That's all any of these social media sites want to do. They just want to keep you on the platform for as long as possible, so they can put as many ads in front of your face as possible, so they can make as much money as possible. And that's really all social media is. It's an ad machine. And yeah, that's why I appreciate you guys watching my long form videos so much, because I'm not really into making the TikToks. I like sitting down and making a long form video, and I like editing together a long form video much better than a minute long video. So yeah, thank you for having the attention span to sit through my videos. Appreciate you guys. And final thing I'll say is, we just, like he was saying, you have to have some self-control, really. That's what it comes down to. Being able to put the phone down for a little bit. Go outside, touch some grass. Not literally touch grass, but maybe. But go for a walk, go get some exercise. Go do something. Go read a book if you can't get outside. If the weather's crappy, or, you have limitations that keep you inside or whatever, then go read a book. Go, I don't know, go learn about something. Go purposefully learn about something, as opposed to just mindlessly scrolling TikTok or Instagram or YouTube or whatever. And, make it so that when you are on there, you're feeling like you're getting something out of it, as opposed to just mindlessly wasting your day doing it. That's something I implemented into my life years ago, is I will stop myself if I find myself doom scrolling or like sitting on the internet for too long. And I'll do it. Don't get me wrong, I'm not perfect. I'll do it. It happens, and an hour will go by. I'll be like, dang, I just wasted all that time watching stupid TikToks. And I'll do it for this channel too, to go through and find videos, but that feels like it has a purpose at least. And I'm looking for something specific, not just mindlessly scrolling. So yeah, if you have a purpose or you're doing something with your social media time, by all means, do what you got to do. But most of the time when we're spending on social media is just wasted time. Let's be real. So yeah, go outside, get some fresh air, open a window if you can't get outside, read a book, learn about something you've always wanted to learn about, teach yourself a new task or a hobby, a new hobby, or pick up an old hobby that you put down for too long. But do something productive instead of just wasting your day. I promise you, when you're hopefully many, many, many years from now, for all of us, are laying on your deathbed, you are not going to think about how great it was all the time you spent on TikTok or social media in general, really. Yeah, I don't know. I'm saying all this as you're watching me on social media. So thank you for watching. I appreciate your time, for real, because it is our most important commodity. So thanks for watching my videos. It's cool of you. Appreciate you guys. I'll shut up now.
These people saw a UFO coming out of the water.
I wanted to watch this
on camera.
Okay, they're on a boat. I'll make it a little smaller. I know you guys hate it when I make it small, but I want you to see the whole video. Whoa. I mean, it's really just a light. It's not even like... They said it comes out of the ocean? It looked like it was coming out of there at the end. Like here, this kind of looks like it's coming out. Can you see any shape to it? Not really. Yeah, like right here, it kind of starts coming out of the water. That's weird. Somebody said it's an oarfish, but I don't know. That don't look like no damn fish to me. Yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think that is? Is it a UFO? Could be like a triangle UFO that was trying to come out of the water, but it saw the boat and was like, oh shit! Wait, we can't go out yet. Or whatever alien language they speak. Clock, gloop, clock, clock. Okay.
You're talking. Can't talk in a baseball game.
Ooh, in your mouth. You throw.
Oh my word! I can't believe that just happened.
I caught the brush.
You're talking.
I caught the brush. I was driving through an abandoned town when I saw a car parked behind a house. We see. I went back 30 minutes later to investigate. Someone's inside. They are so loud. Are they chopping someone up? That's a leap. Probably squatters, bro. A meth head or something, you know? Can you say that on YouTube? We're gonna try.
Hey! 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 Yo! Yo!
Uh-oh. Bro, why would you walk up on them like that? Let them do what they're doing in peace, bro. It's not your business.
Hey! Yo!
Yo, he's laughing. He thinks it's a game. Why would... Okay. What kind of Karen Why would you go... Is it your house to investigate? Like, why would... If you're worried about it, why wouldn't you go... Like, call the police or something? Why are you gonna go investigate yourself and then run when you run into somebody? Silly.
Have you ever heard of the lottery conspiracy theory? You know when you go inside of a gas station and you find lottery tickets and people buy them and they scratch them off in hopes of winning millions of dollars? What if I told you about the conspiracy theory that says the government created the lottery in order to catch time travelers? I know it sounds crazy, but just bear with me, it's going to make a lot of sense. Okay, so people believe the government created the lottery in order to catch time travelers. The chance of winning the lottery right now is about 1 in 14 million. So statistically, you have a better chance of getting struck by lightning. Now let's take a look at one of the most popular lotteries called the Mega Millions. You have a 1 in 300 million chance of winning this lottery. Or in other words, you would need to be struck by lightning 21 times back to back to back in order to win this lottery. So the odds of winning are nearly impossible, so that's why people believe the government created this in order to catch time travelers, is because the time travelers would know exactly where to go and exactly which one.
Or the government created the lottery so that they could have this massive fund that they can have at their disposal. Also, every one of those lottery winners, like 50% of the lottery winnings go to the government. So they win every lottery. Like, it's a 1 in 300 million chance for us to win the lottery. It's a 1 in 1 chance for the government to win the lottery every time. There doesn't have to be a conspiracy there. There's no conspiracy. They've rigged the system. They've rigged the game, and we know it. Like, it's not a conspiracy. The time traveler thing would be cool though, but yeah, it's probably just that they want the money that they get. How much money the government has gotten? Let's see something. How much money has the government made off of the lottery? Just for reference, in 2021, the federal government made 21... Wait, did I get that right? Hold on, make sure I got that right. No, I didn't get it right. Let me just read it. In 2021, state and local governments in the United States collected about 31.22 billion US dollars by lottery. In 1982, this value was much lower, standing at about 1.69 billion. So not exactly, but in 1982, they made about 2 billion a year. And it's went up roughly $1 billion a year since then. A little under, but whatever. So if they did set it up to catch time travelers, then they set it up right. They set it up so they win. Man, that's so much money. Is it into the trillions? It's gonna take me too long to do the math, but it's a lot of money.
This video recently surfaced, showing a mosquito which appears to have the number 38 written on it. And I mean, what the hell is this all about? Of course, this has started conspiracy theories all over the internet. But one theory basically being that they're drones, you know, people that believe birds are drones. A lot of people actually believe pigeons, like every single pigeon is a drone. And get this, some people actually believe that the lockdown was staged by the government so they could replace all the bird/drones batteries. People are saying potentially this is like, I don't know, some government test or something, they're releasing some disease or whatever, who knows. The theory more believable, maybe they're doing tests on a group of mosquitoes and, you know, just put numbers on the back to categorize them or whatever. What makes it a bit creepier is that he didn't just find this one with a number on it, there was several the next day he found them, blah blah blah. But I mean, who knows, obviously it opens up the internet to a lot of theories, so let me know in the comments what you think, hit that follow button and I'll keep you updated.
It seems like you should have just like, not to be gross, but dissected one. See if it has like robot parts in it, or if it is just, you know, mosquito parts. Yeah, I mean, nanotechnology, if it's not here yet, it's right around the corner. So yeah, most likely they were testing mosquito, or like, you know, catching and numbering mosquitoes. Who even looks at a mosquito that close? And how do you catch a mosquito? There's so many questions. And honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, that looked like a big old mosquito. I think it's probably like this. Man, I don't know. Maybe we just got small mosquitoes here in California, but it looked like a big mosquito now that I'm thinking about it. I don't know. I guess I haven't seen a mosquito in... Well, no, that's not true. I saw some mosquitoes over the weekend, but I haven't seen like a lot of mosquitoes since last summer. But I'm trying to think. I don't think they're that big. Yeah, I don't know.
Welcome to the series where I'll explain all of these in 60 seconds or less. John McAfee is the creator of the McAfee antivirus software that literally changed the world as we know it. With his newfound wealth, he purchased an estimated $100 million worth of real estate. Then the housing market crashed in 2008 and he was forced to sell all of his homes for a whopping $5 million. He then moved to Belize and developed a huge drug addiction. While there, he got involved with a gang and even started his own police force. Months later, he claimed the government was trying to extort him for the remainder of his money, which later got him really big on cryptocurrency because it's decentralized. While this was going on, he was actively trying to expose the US and other countries' dark government secrets. This got so bad that he claimed 11 people tried to assassinate him, but he survived every single attempt. As if this couldn't get any weirder, one of his last tweets says the US is coming for me. He then tattooed whacked on his arm and said if anything happened to him, it wasn't him. 1 year later, they found him hanging in a prison cell. Do you think John was crazy, or do you think the government had him killed? Make sure to like and follow for tomorrow's video.
I did watch his, I guess, interview on Matt and Shane's Secret podcast. And the dude definitely seemed like he was, I don't know, somebody that tried to portray himself as like a larger than life individual. I don't know that he really was. I think he was probably pretty nerd smart and got a bunch of money and didn't know what to do with it and probably went crazy. I don't know. But it is really weird. It's pretty clear that you would never do that to yourself, and then you do that to yourself. Strange indeed. Can't wait till 40 years from now when the Freedom of Information Act lets us know exactly what happened to John McAfee and Jeffrey Epstein.
Scientists found something pretty terrifying at the bottom of the Mariana Trench, but they're keeping a huge, huge secret. So years back, a group of scientists went down to the bottom of the Mariana Trench. They went down because they wanted to find out what was really down there. They started the long descent, but when they reached the bottom, everything got very strange and out of hand. They started detecting a large anomaly on their detector, meaning that there was some kind of large creature or something nearby them, but they had no idea what it really was. And they started hearing a really loud sound, like a really low-pitched scream almost, hard to describe. But then out of nowhere, the anomaly just disappeared off of their radar and the sound just vanished. And the anomaly that they detected was huge, like absolutely colossal. So how the hell could it just vanish? And what was it?
This woman received mysterious calls for months before something terrible happened. In 1980, Dorothy Jane Scott began receiving threatening calls from an unidentified man. It got so bad she started taking karate classes and contemplated buying a gun. But then on May 28, 1980, co-workers witnessed her car recklessly speeding out of a parking lot. The next day, her car was found burning in an alleyway with no one inside. Then a week after her disappearance, her parents began receiving mysterious phone calls from a man that were too short to be traced. They got a phone call almost every Wednesday afternoon. This went on for 4 years, until Dorothy's skeletal remains were found buried along with the bones of a dog. After her remains were recovered, her parents received one last phone call from the man who said, "Is Dorothy home?"
Welcome to the series where I'll explain all of these in 60 seconds or less. Agartha is the theory that there is another world just beneath your feet. Modern day science tells us that there's layers, there's crust, there's the hot magma, and there's even a core in the center of the earth. But not everyone is convinced that's true. You probably think this is crazy because it goes against everything we've ever learned about Earth. But just wait until you hear this. In 1947, Richard Byrd flew over the North Pole. Byrd reported seeing mysterious land just above the North Pole and even said that it was the center of the unknown. He even reported seeing lots of grass areas where none should have been where he was flying. He described it as a completely different world. It's also reported that when his task force arrived, they saw this huge hole in the center of the Earth and they saw an advanced civilization beneath it. Here's where things get serious. When he arrived back to the United States, he was asked to go to Washington. He was questioned very heavily by the government from the claims he was making, and he was asked to stop talking about it. So are aliens light years away in our universe? Or could they possibly be just beneath your feet?
The Simpsons predicted 2021. So a few years ago, an episode broadcast on The Simpsons which showed all kinds of riots and crazy events going on at Capitol Hill in Washington. Now, of course, at the very beginning of this year, what happened? Riots at Capitol Hill. They predicted it. They even predicted certain events that happened on this day, such as monuments being stolen. Like what? How? Right, next up, and this is absolutely mental. So of course you know about the electoral college votes which determine who the new president's going to be. Now a few years ago, The Simpsons broadcast this episode which showed the votes. And it is identical, exactly identical to the voting this year. Like, what the hell? A 2000s episode showed billionaires such as Richard Branson, Jeff Bezos, all of these people going up into space. And of course this year, well, it's actually happened. How?
I talked about The Simpsons before, but probably not in this conspiracy series. The conspiracy series. Kind of like conspiracy theories, but it's conspiracy series. The conspiracy theories series. Stupid. Yeah, I've talked about The Simpsons before, and I think when you make that many episodes, you're bound to get some stuff right, because how much stuff has The Simpsons gotten wrong? I also think, like, you know, they have a whole writer's room, they have researchers, and they have people that are paid to keep their, you know, thumb on the pulse of the world and what's going on, and so that they can remain topical. It's not like Richard Branson just decided, I'm going to go to space, and the next week he did it. It was a long, drawn-out thing, and you know, something like that can be, they can announce that he's going to go to space next year, and then they can, probably not that big of a deal because he doesn't do it, but then once he does it, it's, you know, front page news. But The Simpsons heard about it when he was first announced that he was going to do it, so they put it in the episode so it looks like they predicted it. And then sometimes, I feel like sometimes people will make videos with like, oh, The Simpsons predicted this, but then if you go look it up, actually, The Simpsons are talking about that thing. It came out after the thing happened, and they're parodying it in their episode. But then sometimes not. Sometimes they actually do predict that stuff, and it's weird. Like, I think the Trump election, I think they predicted that he was going to run, and they did the thing down the escalator. But then they might have done the escalator thing after that actually happened. I don't know. I'm not an expert on The Simpsons, but I've seen a lot of these videos, so.
Strangest Unsolved Mysteries from Every U.S. State, Part 42, Montana. Just outside of the Glacier National Park in Montana, there's a location where the laws of nature don't really seem to apply. At that location, the gravity is so strange that the trees always grow sideways, and the people who are there appear so much shorter than they actually are. In addition, if you place a marble at the bottom of a steep hill, it will begin to roll up the hill, and if you drop a rope from the ceiling, it will fall on a curve instead of just straight down. Today, the location is a popular tourist attraction, and many people come from all over just to experience its strangeness.
Wild conspiracy theories that are either totally true or straight up dumb. Part 1. In Southeast Europe, there lies a country named Bosnia. A group of complex hills can be found there that have come to be known as the Bosnian Pyramids. Now, they appear to look very similar to the well-known pyramids of Egypt. Now, scientists claim that the hills are just naturally triangular shaped and not man-made at all. However, some wild theorists have started to claim that the hills are in fact man-made with the help of extraterrestrial beings. Pretty wild, right? And comment down below and let me know what you think of these.
Strangest unsolved cases from around the world, England. On April 18th, 1943, 4 boys were searching for birds' nests when they looked inside a hollowed wych elm, and what they saw staring back at them was a human skull. Investigators would find a skeleton, a wedding ring, and a shoe, and inside the skull's mouth was a crumpled up piece of taffeta, suggesting she died by suffocation. And then in 1944, the graffiti began, suggesting that someone knew who she was, and it's been theorized she was killed because she was a spy and it was wartime, or that witches sacrificed her in a ritual. But to this day, no one knows who she is or who killed her.
Paul McCartney died in 1966 and was replaced by an imposter according to this theory. The gist of the theory is that on November 9th, 1966, after an argument during a Beatles recording session, Paul went speeding off in a car and ended up in a car accident resulting in his death. Then the UK agency MI5 had him replaced with a lookalike. The reason he was replaced was because of fears of mass hysteria and suicide if the news broke. Over the years, the Beatles felt bad about the cover-up and decided to leave clues in their album covers and songs. On the famous cover of Abbey Road where the Beatles are crossing a street, people came up with the theory that it's a funeral procession. John dressed in white is the preacher. Ringo dressed in black is the undertaker. George is dressed in blue jeans because he is the gravedigger. And Paul is wearing a black suit like a corpse. He is also out of step with the others and barefoot, which is a sign of mourning in Sicily. In his right hand is a cigarette that's pointing towards the ground, and in the 1960s, cigarettes were known as coffin nails in the UK, representing that the real Paul is in a coffin in the ground. That is just one of the many clues that have been found since this theory began in 1969.
Yeah, I don't know. But I mean, I met him one time, either Paul or the clone or whoever. He was a very nice guy. He didn't seem like a clone. I guess a replacement. It was that theory, not really a clone. But I've heard the theory that he's a clone, too. So, yeah, maybe. I don't think we'll ever know on that one. That one song being played in reverse, it sounds like it says Paul is dead. That is pretty weird. I'll give him that. What do you guys think? You think Paul McCartney died in a car crash and they replaced him with a lookalike? He's been living in Paul McCartney. Well, how lucky would that lookalike be? Imagine you're just a dude that just looks like a guy in a band, and then they like secretly come to you and they're like, hey, We want you to just take that guy's place. You can have all his money, all his cars, all his homes, everything. You can tour, but you can play in his spot in the band. You just have to not tell anybody. Pretend you're just going to take over his life. You go from being an accountant or whatever to being the first iteration of a rock star. What a come up for that guy. I would just like the U.S. government to know if they need me to replace anyone in a world famous band. I would just like the U.S. government to know if they need me to replace anyone in BTS or any other K-pop band for that matter. You know, I'm down. I'll do it. As long as I get their bank account. Actually, maybe not K-pop. That might not be a good idea. I hear it's pretty rough for those kids.
Here's the mystery of the Umbrella Man. Okay, so this is kind of like a part 2 to the one that I posted yesterday about the babushka lady, because they're essentially the same thing, but it's a little bit of a quirk. The date is November 22nd, 1963, the date that JFK was assassinated. JFK's motorcade passes through Dealey Plaza. Standing on this side is the babushka lady, like I said yesterday. However, on the other side of the road is a man holding an umbrella. He was given the pseudonym Umbrella Man. It's normal to have an umbrella, not on a bright and sunny day where it was 70 degrees in Dallas, Texas. And here we go, where things get weird. Right as JFK's motorcade was about to pass, the Umbrella Man opened his umbrella. Some people believe that this is a signal for the first shooter to shoot, and it is presumed that this is Lee Harvey Oswald. And right when JFK passed him, the Umbrella Man panned his umbrella from east to west, which would have been clockwise. And then right after that, the President of the United States was assassinated. As the motorcade sped away, the Umbrella Man sat down on the sidewalk with another man, and then got up and went to the Texas School Book Depository. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe the Umbrella Man had something to do with it, but I do know, I've been to that Daily Square or whatever it is in Dallas, and looks like a hard shot to make. That's all I'm gonna say.
This is why you should never go hiking on Dead Mountain. Be warned, this is one of the most scariest true stories ever told. And even to this day, 60 years later, remains one of the most unsolved mysteries ever. This is the story of the Dyatlov Pass incident. The year is 1959 at the height of the Cold War. 9 Soviet university students decided to go hiking in the frozen Siberia. So as they're hiking, families start to get worried because they have not heard from their loved one. They send a team out to search for them, and they find their campsite on the height of Dead Mountain. Here's where the conspiracy theories come. Their bodies, all of them, were found in the most random places on this mountain. And even scarier than that, every single one of these people you see were found undressed. And a couple of them were found with their eyes and tongue cut out. Some people believe that these people may have found a military weapon and the Soviets killed them. Some people believe this was some kind of UFO incident. And some people believe that this was some kind of Yeti attack because all of their stuff on the campground was untouched.
Yeah, all of their, I don't know about all their stuff being untouched. Seems like it was all still there, but all their stuff was left in really weird conditions too. Like, I think, if I remember correctly, they said their tent was cut from the inside, which I don't know how they would know that, but I'm sure they had a way to tell. And then, yeah, some of their bones were like crushed, and they were all found in really weird circumstances. And like none of their deaths really made sense. They were all also really experienced hikers, and they knew, how to take care of themselves out in the Siberian tundra. But alas, something happened out there. I don't know, it's one of the most curious cases to me. The Dyatlov Pass is super interesting. I mean, most likely they got hypothermia. I think you start taking your clothes off when you get hypothermia. I think it's one of the last. I could be wrong about that. I don't remember exactly. I could be switching that up with something else other than hypothermia. But it seems like one of the last things you experience with hypothermia before you die is getting really hot and you take off all your clothes. Yeah, super interesting stuff. I'm sure you guys have all heard of that. If you have any theories on the Dyatlov Pass incident, let me know in the comments, obviously. And if you haven't, let me know what you think of it. It's a weird one. There's plenty of, good content and videos and documentaries on the Dyatlov Pass incident, though. That's such a famous one. There are other things that are called, like, the Dyatlov Pass of so-and-so or whatever. So, yeah, sounds crazy.
Unsolved Mysteries Part 1. In 2011, divers were searching the Baltic Sea when they came around this big, huge rock circular formation. It was said to have stairs and even creepy entranceways. Some believe it's some type of experimental ship from World War II. Strangely, it's made out of magnesium, iron, and titanium. And there's a strange 40 megahertz signal coming from around it. Could it be aliens? Could it be our ancient ancestors' technology? Scientists still don't know to this day, and it baffles them. What do you guys think it is?
I think it's fake. What do you want from me? It looks fake as hell. I'm looking at the video now, and it looks super fake. Go rewind. Go look at it yourself. It looks like a fucking drawing. It looks real.
This is the conspiracy theory that Britney Spears was working for President George Bush.
Basically, anytime George Bush had a scandal, Britney would do something crazy that would cover it up. On January 5th, 2004, President Bush was trying to distance himself from the Valerie Plame scandal. So Britney had a wild 55-hour marriage to Jason Alexander. April 11th, 2006, Bush's approval ratings hit an all-time low of 38%, mainly due to the Iraq War. Instead, the news is covering Britney's visits from child welfare. February 2007, President Bush announced the reformation of Al-Qaeda, who he promised to hunt down and eliminate after 9/11. Enter the famous Britney meltdown. If you look into this more, you'll see a few more examples. So, was she forced to do this by the government? Did she work for Bush? Or does this just show America's obsession with pop culture over government issues?
We should just trust our president in every decision that he makes, and we should just support that, you know, and be faithful in what happens.
So tier 4. Very few people know about this conspiracy. Today we're going to be talking about artificial poisonous snow. To sum up what this means, this conspiracy believes that the government is creating artificial snow to control the population. The most common state in the United States that it snows in is New Hampshire. It snows in New Hampshire 118.5 days on average per year. You know what the most leading cause of death is in New Hampshire? Cancer. Some people might be confused, but if we take a look at the top 10 states in the United States that it snows in, the most common leading cause of death is heart disease or cancer, leaving people to speculate that they're creating artificial poisonous snow to control the population. About 7 years ago, a video circulated of a man putting a snowball on a grill and trying to get it to melt, but instead of melting, the entire snow turned black. One man in 2014 posted a blog post of him trying to burn a snowball with a lighter. He then goes on to say that the snowball burnt like plastic. He then later said that he thought it could have been the butane from the lighter, so he put his snowball on the kitchen table. Over the course of the next few days, the snowball never melted and water never leaked out. 1 year later, the man allegedly took his own life, leaving people to speculate that the government thought he knew too much. This conspiracy theory might seem far-fetched for some, but in 1967, the US opened a secret project called Operation Popeye. Operation Popeye was the study of weather warfare. The results of the experiment allegedly created 35 inches of rain in Vietnam during the Vietnam War, but President Nixon, all the way up to his death, denied the project ever existed. Then later in 1977, the UN banned all weather warfare. If weather warfare never even existed at that time, why would the UN feel the need to ban it? So do you think the snow is 100% natural, or do you think the government is hiding a much darker secret about what happened at Operation Popeye?
Damn. I mean, I've long believed the government had weather modification capabilities. I think they use it. I don't think it's that nefarious. I mean, that obviously was crazy nefarious, but I think generally, I think they might be like, oh, it's dry over here. Let's throw some rain on it. Then, no, after thinking about it for about 3 seconds, nothing the government does isn't nefarious. So, yeah, they're probably using that for their own gains in other places. Yeah, the snow, man, I do remember seeing that snowball video, the guy that couldn't melt the snowball. I didn't know the last part about how that turned out a year later, but it's really sad. If you live in New Hampshire, it's cold right now, it's probably snowing right now. Go outside and melt some snow for me. And let me know how it goes. Let me know in the comments. If you can, take a video. Send it to me. I'll put it in one of my videos. I'll react to it. Yeah, trippy stuff, man.
Here's the mystery of the Pearl Harbor ghost plane. The date is December 8th, 1942. It's exactly 1 year and 1 day after Japan attacked Pearl Harbor, which, if you don't know, is a naval base in Hawaii. A naval officer noticed that there was an unidentified aircraft moving in from the west. In other words, Pearl Harbor looked to be under attack again. Multiple fighter planes were then deployed to intercept the target. When they got into the air, they noticed that it wasn't a Japanese bomber. Instead, it was a United States P-40 Warhawk, aka the exact same model plane used to defend Pearl Harbor from the Japanese a year prior. They were decommissioned in 41. Only something about this one was off. These are the exact quotes from the fighter pilots tasked to intercept. All of the pilots stated that the plane was, quote, shot to shit. There were bullet holes all over the wings. The main rotor wasn't spinning. 2 of the pilots claimed that they got a good look at the person flying the Warhawk. They said that the pilot was, quote, certainly dead, and that he couldn't have been flying the plane. The plane then crash landed. The pilot in question was nowhere to be found.
Dang, that's crazy. Imagine flying out to defend against what you think is about to be another attack on your country, and then it's just a ghost plane? That's wild.
People who expose the truth.
One of the most amazing things that I have ever seen at the bottom of the ocean. It was while filming for Blue Planets in the Gulf of Mexico. I noticed there's something out in the distance. I couldn't tell exactly what, but it looked like a dark band. And as we approached it, the dark band became a donut. I saw this donut. It was black in the center. What the heck is that? And so as we get closer and closer to it, I noticed that the black band had what appeared to be kind of water lapping against the shoreline. This band was a ring of muscles. And inside the ring of muscles was a lake. And it's like, wait a minute, I'm already underwater. And we went out over the water in this lake and tried to descend it and bounced off. It was so super saline and dense that the submarine couldn't go down it. Literally bounced off. And as we bounced off, we sent ripples heading back to the shoreline. It was insane.
What happened to Mike DeGray? On February 4th, 2012, DeGray died in a helicopter crash at Jasper's Brush near the town of Barrie, New South Wales, Australia. Oof. I just don't really get what he was exposing. Well, I mean, seems like he discovered something. Yeah, and they kept spelling muscles like muscles on your body. Not, those were muscles like in a lake, M-U-S-S-E-L-S. Yeah, I think I got that right. Well, the top comment says, it's called a brine pool. They exist. It's not a mystery. And the second comment says, gotta be a portal. Has to be. They always slap a basic explanation like, it's just a brine pool to make people not look deeper into things that crack. Oh, to not look deeper into things that crack the perception of reality they have created for us. Anything that doesn't fit within our perceived reality has to be explained away to prevent cognitive dissonance and deeper levels of thinking. I mean, I think she has a point to an extent, but also, like, just weird stuff happens in the ocean that we don't know about. But yeah, isn't he like an expert, though? Like, wouldn't he know what a brine pool is? Wouldn't he not be that baffled by that, you know? Hopefully I could clean that audio up, because it was interesting, but I don't know if it's that big of a conspiracy theory.
Did you guys see the official NASA speech a few days ago? I don't know why everyone's talking about this part.
Unusual things start to happen as the normal rhythms of Earth are disrupted.
When they really should be talking about this part.
I've often said that at NASA, our mission is for all humanity. And that's because space brings us together. There's no better proof than moments like this, a total solar eclipse. Total solar ellipse. Total solar ellipse.
His little demon eyes notwithstanding, I just want to make it abundantly clear, he does not correct himself. In fact, he pauses for about 10 seconds before he continues to speak. Go back and watch the rest of it. He does say eclipse a couple of times towards the end, but he never corrects himself. So what is an ellipse?
Imagine you're standing at one end of a large room and your friend is at the other end. You whisper something, barely audible to the person standing next to you. But your friend can clearly hear what you said. How amazing this would be, right? Is this possible? What do you think? Well, this magical thing is possible if the ceiling of the room is spherically shaped like an ellipse. This shape, which looks like a stretched circle, is what makes the whispering magic possible. If the ceiling of the room is elliptical in shape, technically semi-elliptical here, then there are two special points in the room where you and your friend can stand. If one of you whispers something, then all the sound waves get reflected from the elliptical ceiling towards the other person. So as the sound waves from one point get reflected and focused onto the other point, your friend can hear your whisper. This works the other way around as well. If your friend whispers something, you will be able to hear clearly as well.
Interesting. Now let's see what NASA had to say about the light-bending properties of the sun during a solar eclipse.
Einstein's light-bending concept.
Things that happens during a total solar eclipse is that the sky goes dark and the stars come out. In 1915, Albert Einstein predicted that objects that had strong gravity like the sun would bend light. And Sir Arthur Eddington in 1919 decided to test Einstein's prediction by photographing the stars near the sun during a total solar eclipse. He also photographed them 6 months before the total solar eclipse, when the sun was nowhere near those stars. He then compared the images, and he discovered that just as Einstein had predicted, starlight bent in the gravity of the sun.
If you all saw my part 1 of my This World Is Not What You Think It Is Eclipse Edition series, you need to watch it because I showed everybody this.
He draws continents on the surface and on the other side as well. He points both sides and writes, same. Below he writes summer land. He draws rays coming out of the black sun and writes, northern lights.
Hold on. Film. Apparent position of a distant star when its light passes close to the sun. Light is bent by the strong gravitational field of the sun. Deflected path. Apparent displacement of star's disposition. Distant star. Okay.
But he needed a total solar eclipse to do that experiment. Well, we can't bend light measurably on Earth using gravity, but I can show you how to use the bottom of a wine glass to bend light using refraction in very much the same pattern that gravity bends light around the sun or around a galaxy. I've set up a blue light-emitting diode behind me to represent a distant star. When I move this to the side, you can see a point of light. And as I come in, you can see that point of light changing its position. The wine glass is bending the light from the distant star, so you see it to the side. Now the sun doesn't have enough gravity to do this, but a black hole does. If I get exact alignment, the distant star becomes a ring called the Einstein ring.
University of Cordoba, Argentina. On a normal day.
Please tell me it's all starting to click. Now just sit back and watch these.
Okay, Zoe, favorite.
What is your favorite thing about space?
Go in there. Go in there.
Why has nobody been to the moon in such a long time?
That's not an 8-year-old's question. That's my question. I want to know, but I think I know. Because we didn't go there, and that's the way it happened. And if it didn't happen, it's nice to know why it didn't happen. So in the future, if we want to keep doing something, we need to know why something stopped in the past. We wanted to keep it going.
What?
Let's open up our world. You know what? I don't want to open up our world. I want to close our world. Build a dome over it.
Well, if you don't want to meet any new people, why'd you agree to go out with them?
Because Carrie can't know about the dome.
Alright, the movie references aren't doing it for me. Yes, we all know there was a firmament in Hunger Games. Oh no, Simpsons predicted it.
It's actually kind of sad, man. Really, we need to let them out of there. I mean, they need to know the world is bigger than
I mean, look, maybe they've been dropping hints in big movies and TV shows forever.
It's cold out here.
Yeah, it is. It's like the South Pole.
It's like the deep South Pole, if there was one. There isn't, though.
Pirates of the Care Bears? Is that what that said?
And don't even get me started on the horned devil comet.
some of the men talking about the comet. So it's an omen.
Oh, well, they
Said
put it in
each
Game
war
of Thrones
were in a
now, I
great
believe.
victory in the south.
Did they? Stars don't fall from men. Red comet means one thing, boy. Dragons.
They worship the dragon, which gave power unto the... Oh.
Y'all aren't digging deep enough.
Dang, it's finally over. You know, I don't know. I mean, do I think we live under a firmament? No, probably not. Am I 100% on that? No, absolutely not. I mean, you know, it could be a firmament. I don't know. Yeah, obviously it's weird when you put all these videos together back to back like that. It's a compelling argument, but come on. I just don't understand why they would lie about it. It goes back to my thing about there's so many people that study space. You'd have to get all of them to lie. Wouldn't one of them be like, hey, there's a freaking globe up there? You don't think that TikTok would have come out? Hey, I was looking at my telescope and I noticed this little gate that opened and a spaceship came through. Like, come on. But I mean, I could be wrong. And if I am and they announce something, what is it, Sunday? Monday? If something happens on Monday, hey, I'll be the first one to tell you I was wrong. But good thing it's happening in just a few days. It is weird that that dude just kept saying ellipse. But like, it's an eclipse is what's happening. People are tracking the moon, and we know the moon goes around us. And we know that this happens like twice a year, right? I just Googled it to make sure. There's between 2 and 5 solar eclipses every year. It's just the next thing to be distracted by, y'all. Everybody's distracted by this. Nobody's talking about what's going on. I don't know what's going on, but, you know. There's probably some other crap going on that we should be talking about. Should be talking about these freaking studios. The AMPTP making everybody not give anybody jobs. Trump selling $60 Bibles to pay for his legal fees. Congrats, you guys. You bought one of those Bibles, you just paid legal fees for that, man. Never understand that. Man of the working people, right? Who doesn't need their $60 Bible?
So someone posed a really good question. A113. Let's talk about it. So A113 shows up in a lot of cartoons, a lot of films, all that kind of stuff. Check this out.
I'm pretty sure I've heard of this before.
Is that it's a room at the California Institute of Arts where a lot of animators took a class. That's the official story. I find it really interesting because symbolism is very important in the entertainment industry. What do you guys think? Do you believe the official narrative, or do you think there's something more to it?
They didn't even give like an alternate opinion of what it was supposed to be. I mean, I think it was just the room number, because I've been in plenty of buildings that have room numbers like that, like A whatever. Yeah, I don't know. I never thought that was that weird. Never questioned it, but you know, hey, question everything.
Remember this photo of Jennifer Lopez? It was a gym photo she took, and people realized when they zoomed in a little bit, there was a person, seemed to be like a kid or maybe a man, who knows, in the door with their mouths covered, and they look scared. Did we ever get an answer to that? Did we ever get an explanation? I just want to know. Because, yeah, that's...
The heck?
Yeah. Remember this...
One of the comments says, pretty sure that's Joe Rogan. I mean, it looks like it's edited in there, I'm not gonna lie, to me, but that's weird. Why would somebody edit that in there? Next video. I was hanging out at the hotel in Miami when I noticed some interesting symbolism on the walls. That's a Freemason symbol. Illuminatio. I like that hand, it's kind of tight. No comment. The Age of Aquarius, baby.
Like, I'm just kind of flabbergasted right now. Who is that? That looks like a lizard. You cannot tell me that that really is Diddy. His forehead is extra big. His eyes look like lizard eyes. Like, look at the other picture and stop it, because, dude, that's the first thing I thought. That is not Diddy. That is not Diddy. Where's your moles at, sir? Like, yeah. This, honestly, I don't know what to think. It could be either. Look at his eyes. Anyways, it could be either or. I'm thinking they cloned this man and threw him under the bus, and they're hiding Diddy because, you know, come on now. It's just like, are they really going to hand over this man that's been doing their job, that's been, you know, in line, their soldier? Like, are they really going to give one of their best soldiers up like that? What do you think? Because this is crazy. Just look, this is Diddy. Like, look, the difference. Go back to the other pictures. I'm telling you, there is no way that's Diddy.
I mean, he does have kind of a lizard-like face, not gonna lie, but the moles is weird. Well, why doesn't he have moles in his mugshot? You're not telling me those moles were fake all this time, are you? Hey, don't worry, I'm getting a side-by-side for you right now. Where did moles go? Yeah, it's weird, dude. I don't know. Let me just double check. Is it his real mugshot? Did he mugshot? These images are AI. AI got us. Alright, well, at least I know. Yeah, he hasn't been arrested. Do you think it would be news if he was arrested? Yeah, as far as I know, Diddy has not been arrested. That image is... whatever. That image is AI. That's why he doesn't have moles. And that's why his face looks weird.
I'm telling y'all, they always hide the truth in plain sight.
Sure is. Make a deal with me, kid. You can have the car and everything that goes along with it. So what do you say?
Two things. That's a Freemason sign ring. And, wait a minute, that's obviously the devil.
I appreciate him clearing that up there at the end, because I just thought it was Willem Dafoe killing a role once again. I mean, look, selling your soul to the devil for all the riches and success you want, that's a tale as old as time. Once again, I think it's probably a metaphor for, like, abandoning your morals and doing things that you know aren't good for the success and riches that you seek. Or also maybe that, you know, Mercedes decided to be the one to tell us that the devil is real, and we can make a deal with him if we just sign for a new car.
UConn's men and women's team are going to win the national championship this year. Here's why. And yeah, I'm making this video before UConn beats USC in the Elite Eight on the women's side. Little history lesson, here's all the schools that have ever had both their men's and women's team advance to the Final Four in the same year. And weirdly enough, both NC State men's and women's are in the Final Four already this year, but so is UConn. In 2004, the women's UConn team won. In 2004, the men's UConn team won. The UConn women's team won in 2014. And that same year, UConn also won the men's side. Wait, what year is it? It's 2024. And what year did they win those in? 2004? 2014? 2004? 2014? Every 10 years, UConn men's and women's team both win the national championship. This is definitely worth a sprinkle. And maybe we do it with the NC State men's and women's teams too. Maybe it's just every 10 years it happens.
Yep, sports is fake. Nobody, it's all scripted. Hey, we'll come back to this. I don't know when those games are over, because I do not care about college basketball. But when they are, I'll come back to this and give that guy a shout out for getting it right. He figured it out. To be clear, that was the Better App TikTok account that was doing that. Use promo code Jonny. No, I'm just kidding. I don't have a promo code with them. That would be funny, though.
I want to see if anybody else remembers this. When COVID started here in the US, there was this guy that had millions of followers throughout all these platforms, and he deleted all of his other platforms except for TikTok, and he made like a series of videos apologizing to his fans and like pretty much telling them to be prepared from what happens now when COVID started to 2026. I came across his page when I had COVID the very first time, and I was out of commission for like a month and a half because I was so sick. So I had time to watch all his videos. There was like 70, 80 videos. And you can tell they were all made in the same day. So he was trying to hurry up and push out the information. And then he was gone. His last video, he was like sobbing, could barely even speak at that point. And he said that him, his wife, and his 3 kids were going to live off grid and disappear until 2029 when he will be able to come back and reveal who gave him this information and who his resources were. But he would refer to these people as uppers. In like the first 10 videos, he discusses how he got his social media platforms and that he was given fame and that his cousin was actually the one that was famous, and his cousin took him to an event and he latched on to someone that was in the uppers that's against famous people. So I guess, like, in other words, a famous person that has a committee that's against the bad famous people. They latched on and became friends, and they gave him an assignment. They gave him social media platforms with millions of followers and told him to post for 2 months so he becomes a familiar face, and then to delete all his platforms and just stick with one platform that is popular in that time. And during that time and now, TikTok is the most popular platform. And I'm into conspiracies, and I only remember the ones that scare me. I know that's weird, but I remember watching all his videos and I was terrified because the things he was saying made sense. And I almost made like a mental checklist. So anytime anything happens, I'm like, fuck, he said that. I kid you not, everything this man has said so far has happened, and I cannot find his videos. And I hope people remember him, because it was like a year straight people made fun of him, and then it just all stopped. And what brought this up today is I just watched a video of The Simpsons talking about the stars falling from the sky. And he made this comment that made no fucking sense to me. And he said, I want you guys to know that the stars are going to fall, but it's not the ones that are in the sky. It's the ones you look up to. In the back of my head, I said, the ones I look up to are the ones in the sky. Absolutely not. And now it makes sense after seeing that little clip. It blows my mind. If anybody remembers it and you can find a video, tag me in it so I can have proof. But also I want to rewatch his videos because holy shit, like, mind blown.
People in the comments are saying Isaac Cappy or William Knight, but Isaac Cappy died in 2019 before COVID, and William Knight still posts. So it's not them. I mean, that doesn't ring a bell for me at all. I don't think I ever saw that, but I'm not really on TikTok like that either. So yeah, if anybody out there knows what that is, comment below. Let's find this person and
Okay, we gotta put our tinfoil hat back on for this one, y'all.
my favorite.
This is weird. So I come across this post on my Twitter. Can someone please tell me what the F is going on in the background? Okay, photo number 1. Boom. Look in the background. Get your fool. Shit's getting weird. Photo number 2.
Are these AI?
Weirder. Hold on, let's zoom in. This is weirder. Like, what's happening here? So I'm like,
it's AI, right?
Let me go to her page myself so that I can see if this is even real. Well, I'll be doggone. It's really on her page, March 16th. Y'all see that right there? And I'm zooming in myself so that y'all can see, like, this is a real photo on her page. Look at that one. What in the reptilian hell is going on? What? Need somebody to explain to me, like I'm 3 years old, why America's Got Talent has shapeshifters in the audience. And if these aren't,
I don't know if it's shapeshifters.
What the hell is it? And why would someone, especially a host of America's Got Talent, be editing faces in the background of her photos? This is not April Fool's. This was posted on March 16th. It's on her page right now. Somebody tell me, because for those of you who are so good at refuting conspiracies, give me an answer for this in the comments. Thank you.
I mean, it looks like AI faces to me. Another thing, it could be that they distort the faces in the background so that she doesn't get sued. It's like, I'm pretty sure, yeah, I don't know. It's a post on Instagram. I don't know, can people, I guess, yeah, if somebody has your face posted on their Instagram, you could probably sue them. Or she was in a theater of shape-shifting demons. I don't know. It's possible. Is it?
All right, guys. News alert. Everyone should know this, okay? So the shipping container here that just took down the bridge in Baltimore, okay? There's a little backstory. Let's get into it real quick. You're just going to blow your mind. So this is Angela Cheo, who just so happens to be Mitch McConnell's sister-in-law. Yeah, Mitch McConnell, the senator. Well, she is the CEO of the shipping company that ship was connected to. But it just so happens 6 days ago, this girl died. So basically, now tell me if this doesn't sound suspicious. Her blood level, her alcohol blood levels were 3 times the legal limit. On top of that, this is what happened. She was driving her Tesla when it went into reverse on its own into a pond where she drowned. Okay? Tell me that's not a coincidence, y'all. Okay? So, like, the CEO, now mind you, she's a billionaire. Okay? She is loaded. Okay? So, like, they just took her out, and then all of a sudden, 5-6 days later, here comes down the bridge. So just a little shady, but I thought the world should know.
Well, I would have to confirm that. Well, quick little Google lets us know. The late Angela Chao, sister-in-law of Senator Mitch McConnell, was the CEO of a shipping company, but not the owner of the container vessel Dali that crashed into Baltimore's Francis Scott Key Bridge as claimed on social media posts. So, yeah, no. She owned a shipping company, not that ship or shipping company. So, kind of just, 5 seconds of Googling and it just crumbles your entire theory there, buddy. But I like where your head's at. Connecting the dots, actually doing some research he did. It was wrong, but he did the research.
I'm tweaking out. This shirt says
I can kind of tell.
in English, right?
Just kidding.
So it's a bad photo, but it's the only one I have. You can clearly see that this shirt has Hebrew letters. I bought it in Israel, which is why it's in Hebrew. So on this day, April 14th, 2023, I put it in the washing machine in Hebrew, and it came out in English. Someone please tell me if we just went through a portal, if, like, astrology girls, please help me out, like, what's going on?
$850,000 likes. I don't know how many views, but it's probably millions. And nobody thought maybe she just bought a Coca-Cola shirt and is lying about that. One of the top comments says, "This is such a random thing to lie about, but I F with it." But there you have it, folks. That is another compilation of some of the wildest TikTok conspiracy theories I can find. Don't forget to join me every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday for a brand new reaction video, and every Sunday for a live stream. Come kick it in the chat. Merch shop is live. You guys know where it's at. It's down there. We got Gemini Jonny beanies. We also got tie-dye beanies, sweaters, hoodies, shirts, gym crew shirts. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you guys. So until next time, seek the truth.